it's a massive topic. Like, how can you be loyal to Great Britain, to the king, to Britishness, if you're also loyal to a 1400-year-old cult of Mohammedanism?
Did it used to
Islam.
By the way, guys, in Islam, there's no actual separation between mosque and state. Islam is above everything. It's above international law, above politics. Allah is the one that dictates. That's why they don't believe in the concept of states. They believe in concepts of khalifas, a big Islamic khalifa that will conquer the entire world. They don't care about politics. Islam is above everything. You guys doing this is Sahar TV, and in today's video, we'll see Charlie Vich. He went on a podcast and he said that he no longer gives a shit what people think about his will to make the UK safe again. Let's take a look.
There's a great saying that at some point we're going to have to save Great Britain. Either us, our children, or our grandchildren. And it's better that it's us rather than making our children or our grandchildren go for it. So after 9/11, before I became a conspiracy theorist, I was a mainstream nice boy in Edinburgh. So I was 21 when I watched the towers come down, watched it live in a cafe in Thailand. We were in Koh Samui, and a little Thai guy comes onto the beach. Come, your country, attack. We're like, what? There's a bunch of Israeli tourists. Israelis love Thailand. I went to see it. So 9/11 really affected me. I was the same age as you. And I was like, what can I do? I know, I'll join the armed forces. But I didn't want to be a full-time soldier. I still wanted to earn money and work. So I joined the TA. And I was in Royal Logistics Corps doing officer training in Edinburgh for 2 years. But I quit just before Sandhurst for the officer training. The TA, you still do the same stuff as the regular army, because I became a conspiracy theorist. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fight for the very people that did this attack. I know now it's wrong, but you know.
Well, it's good that you found courage instead of fear when you saw that atrocity take place, because, I mean, it put the fear of God into most people. It shows testicular fortitude that you thought, you know what, I'm gonna resist this. So, yeah, again, I tip my hat to you.
Yeah, and funnily enough, bringing back memories now, I remember 2005, I was at can't remember the name of the army base, but funnily enough, there was a young guy, Muslim, who was doing the officer training with us. But when it came, and everyone remembers this, all the other English and Scottish guys there, when it came to the gun range where you get the SA-80, you learn the magazine, disassembling it. But when it came to do the shooting, there was a couple of the weapons NCOs were watching us. But for the Muslim guy, there was 3 guys stood over him at any moment. And we all noticed that. And I think just after 9/11, everyone was worried, as we are now, because it's happened so many times, that he was just going to get a 30-round magazine and just bang, 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 just start doing a Mumbai-style massacre, start killing people. And we all had that in the back of our minds. Of course, it never transpired. It never happened. But it's a massive topic. How can you be loyal to Great Britain, to the king, to Britishness, if you're also loyal to a 1400-year-old cult of Mohammedanism?
Did it used to
Islam.
By the way, guys, in Islam, there's no actual separation between mosque and state. Islam is above everything. It's above international law, above politics. Allah is the one that dictates. That's why they don't believe in the concept of states. They believe in concepts of khalifas, a big Islamic khalifa that will conquer the entire world. They don't care about politics. Islam is above everything.
Did it used to be called that?
Yeah, Mohammedans. Up until I'd say the 70s, British people would call Islam Mohammedanism. And I think it's very accurate because it's a personality cult. The reason why Muslims all call their kids Muhammad, they all have the same beard without the upper lip, and they try and copy him, is because they're in a very long-term personality cult. Whereas, and the problem is that with Christianity, Jesus is God, so you'll never be God. So you'll never be Jesus, but Muslims believe that they can be exactly like Muhammad because he was a human being. And that causes all sorts of problems when the fundamentals of your religion aren't based in the spirit world. They're based in a war general who did go a bit mad and massacre villages full of Jews left, right, and center. And there is a story, I've not been able to verify it, but it's not outside the realm of possibility, that I think it's in one of the hadiths that Muhammad went to conquer the last Jewish tribe of warriors that were like, no, fuck you. We like Moses and you're not the prophet. So he went and executed all the men in the village, and then after he executed the chief, he made the daughter watch the execution, and then he took her into the tent and had his carnal ways with her as a thrill. And now that's, but again, I can't verify that, so this is just Charlie doing anti-Islamism propaganda on the Liam Tuff show.
You've said in the middle of the street that we must confront the Islamists. You've put that on record. It's a brave thing to say, particularly in this day and age.
Yeah.
Why must we confront the Islamists?
Because
and how?
They are in a very well-organized, very well-oiled machine. It's a worldly 3D physical realm domination cult that is different to, say, Buddhism or Christianity, which is based in heaven, in the other world, in things that are not physical. But we need to confront the Islamists. And first of all, I want to just clarify what I mean by Islamist rather than Muslim or Islam. So I see Islam is an ideology. I would say it's almost a religion, and I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. If the government's watching this and I've committed hate crimes, come for me. We're at the point now, I think, if I get arrested for criticizing the most dominant invading force that Europe has seen since the gates of Vienna or since the Reconquista of Spain, then, I don't care. Like, can you really get in trouble for trying to save your own country by speaking the truth? So Islam is a almost religion. It's a kind of domination cult. Muslims are people who are indoctrinated into that cult. But there's many Muslims who they're like kind of people that maybe go to church once a year, Christmas service. But they're like, I believe in Islam and Muhammad, but whatever. I'm just going to go and make money and be a good person. Those are Muslims. They're not a problem. But Islamists are people who see Islam as the perfect final political solution for the planet. Obviously, Muslims believe that the Quran is the final revelation of God. Nothing else can come after it. They're so arrogant to the point that they call people who convert to Islam in the West, they call them reverts. They're like, Dave, Paul, Matthew, John, we'll keep it biblical. John, you guys were born Muslims, but you were brainwashed into being Christians, but now you're reverting back to Islam.
That is the funniest thing that Muslims do. They trying to cancel Judaism and cancel Christianity by saying, we were here first, Adam was a Muslim, Moses was a Muslim, all of them were Muslims. How come? Islam came to existence thousands and thousands and thousands of years later, so why do you keep claiming the same thing? They do it with the Palestinians as well. They claim that the Palestinians were the Canaanites and that they were here before the Jews to overpower the presence of the Jewish people here in the land. It's disgusting, but it works for them.
That's very arrogant. And on the flip side, if you want to leave Islam, the penalty is death. Now, obviously, you don't see that practice very often. Obviously, in villages in Pakistan, they stone each other to death over it. But, I think Salman Rushdie, he was an Indian Muslim, but he came from a posh family, realized this is problematic, this book. He wrote the Satanic Verses, which I read. It's not as bad against Islam as the Muslims, he got that fatwa against them, the Ayatollah in Iran, you have to kill him. So he didn't insult it that badly. But anyway, to come back to the Islamists, we need to challenge them because they are empowered. They've got momentum behind them. They think that they're winning after 20 years of anti-Western, anti-straight white man propaganda by every angle. For a long time, we thought that the anti-straight white man propaganda was to make other minorities feel better and it's not all domination. But you're like, wait a minute, this was all just a big ploy to make white people hate themselves and to have less children. And the Islamists are on top of that, promoting Islam very, very heavily. And I said to you just outside in the waiting room before here, I think Muslims are on the back foot a bit right now because after Southport, I know Southport wasn't committed by a Muslim, so they say, but I do think that Axel Rudu Cabana was inspired by terrorism and Islamism, I think, before he did that, because the modus operandi, going to innocent small Christian people and doing a mass stabbing attack, if you ask anyone on the street, what would you associate a car ramming attack with, or a mass stabbing attack with? What religion? They're like, oh, Islam, clearly. So he might not have been a Muslim, but I would say it was very much inspired by it.
Guys, I'm going to pause the video right here, and I'm going to include the link to the full video in the link in the description below so you can watch the full thing. And I have to say, Charlie, I thought you have a talent for vlogging. I didn't think you had a talent for podcasting. You're incredible, brother. The way you speak, the way you know your history, very well done. And I agree with you. I think the British people need to show force, they need to show power, and they need to show Islam who is the boss in the region. Don't act weak. Don't show weakness, because then the future of the UK is doomed. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links in the description. Also, you can now become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.